Hello and welcome to Some Dude Shed. We're going to go over the news of the week. I'll say of the week, of recent times. So we're kind of topical on this show.
I'm pretty sure mine was last week. I think. Yeah, mine was last week.
Well,
yeah, mine was within the last week as well.
Well, my name is Mr. Grey. I'm joined by Mr. Red.
Hello.
And Mr. Black.
Good evening.
And these are the news stories. So to start off with the sports segment, fans of Newcastle United have been asked to stop wearing traditional Arabic clothing to matches. So basically the story is, a few weeks ago, an Arab consortium had bought Newcastle United.
So what you're saying is they're just honouring the new order?
Basically, yes, that's what they're doing. They're showing great amount of respect by impersonating the new owners of the team.
Well, imitation is the sincerest form of flattery.
Absolutely, that's what I think too.
Unless you imitate badly.
Well, I can't imagine what they would be doing in that regard. But there's a lovely picture of a guy here dressed, I'd say as an Arab businessman, so wearing the Arab robe and the. Forgive me, I don't know the technical terms for these things, but he's got the thing on his head, and he's just got sunglasses on, and he looks exactly like an Arab businessman. I mean, here he is there. I'll show it to Mr. Black as well.
Blends right in.
He blends right in, yeah.
Yeah, but what about that makes him a businessman? I'm pretty sure that
Probably the glasses.
Actually, yes. If you see somebody in that outfit without glasses, they're not a businessman.
Yeah, it's the glasses that put the wealth into the picture, you know.
Yes.
Yeah. You see an Arab without glasses, and like clearly this is some kind of churl.
Well, he looks fresh. He looks clean. The other two guys look a bit like a bit trampy.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
he looks good. It's a good look. But of course, Newcastle United themselves are discouraging this sort of behaviour. They say it might be considered offensive by some.
Who?
Well, Arabs, I guess.
Have any Arabs said I'm offended by this, or?
Or the people on their behalf saying they're offended by this?
The guy who wrote this article, is he offended by this? It's just him.
I don't know. Well, to be honest, the article is actually written in a pretty neutral way. It's just the quotes from Newcastle United itself. Visitors at the club are encouraged to wear whatever is the norm for their own culture.
What normally wears that? You don't know. You don't know if he goes down the shops dressed like that.
Yeah, for all you know, he's like associated with the people who bought it, and he just wanted to check out the stands.
Oh, possibly. Well, he could be an insider. Yeah, indeed. So, and that's basically it. That's the news story. Some Newcastle United fans have been dressing up as Arabs and have been told not to.
Each their own.
Mr. Red, what have you found?
I found a rather entertaining news article. A man in China has been banned from an all-you-can-eat barbecue restaurant for eating too much.
A man in China, Chinese citizen, banned from a restaurant in China?
Yes.
Imagine that. I would probably have heard his social credit score.
Yeah.
I was just more about, it's an all-you-can-eat barbecue, and he got banned for eating too much.
That reminds me of that Simpsons episode.
Yeah.
The Simpsons episode, like the frying Dutchman. He goes in, eats all the seafood, and closes the restaurant.
The seafood captain's restaurant, yeah.
Yeah.
They wouldn't have done that without a good reason. He must be a repeat offender.
Well, apparently...
Going in there every day and eating them out.
Well, apparently he's a Chinese food live streamer who got blacklisted from a grill buffet restaurant for eating too much.
He's like one of these mukbangers, is he? Like,
I don't know what that is, Mr. Black, but...
Well, it's just, those guys on YouTube that they buy copious amounts of food and they just sit and eat it in front of the camera. That's what mukbang is. It's like a trend. It's like an offshoot of ASMR or something.
Right.
But people watch that.
Is that like a food review thing?
No, it's like they buy like 20 burgers, McDonald's. Like they buy the whole menu and just have it in front of them. And they just sit and try to eat the whole thing in front of a microphone. It's a young people's trend, which...
Young people.
This article's on the BBC, by the way. The man known only as Mr. Kang told Hun TV that he was banned from the Hadanian seafood barbecue buffet in Changsha City after a series of binges. So he was a serial binger.
Mm.
He ate 1.5 kilograms of pork tauters.
Wow, in one sitting?
I assume so. On the first visit. 3.5 kilograms to 4 kilograms of prawns on another visit.
Flip.
Goodness me.
Mr. Kang said the restaurant is discriminatory against people who can eat a lot.
Well, yeah, it sounds like it is.
Mr. Kang stated, "I can eat a lot. Is that a fault?" he said. adding that he didn't want to waste any of the food. But the restaurant owner told the same reporter that Mr. Kang was putting him out of pocket.
The way I'm nearly sure most of these places have like some sort of fair use policy. Like, you know, the way I sort of compared to like broadband. Like if you're downloading too much, they throttle your broadband. I'm sure it'll deter other customers. You know, other people will be going there going, well, I don't want to get kicked out if I eat over the threshold.
Well, possibly, but if you read into the article, you do see why he did eat an awful lot of food.
The owner did go on to say, every time he comes here, I lose a few hundred yuan, whatever that is. Must be the local currency.
Yeah.
£2 or something.
Even when he drinks soy milk, he can drink 20 to 30 bottles. When he...
Where does it go? Like, where does it...
I'm assuming there must be a bucket under his table or something. That's just in one hole like the other.
Is there a picture of the guy? Is he a big guy?
Oh, apparently he's a food streamer, so I'm assuming there'll be a photo of him somewhere, known as Mr. Kang.
See, people can throw down that much food, usually are practiced at it because they do eating competitions or they do what he does. And those people are usually quite, you know, heavy set people. Like, I can't imagine this be somebody who maybe doesn't eat for like a week straight and then goes in because your stomach shrinks. So
You got to stretch it beforehand. Like for breakfast, you have like 5 liters of water. It just stretches your stomach, goes right through you, and then you're ready for the big.
He just swallows whole Weetabix to expand his stomach or something.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can drink 20 to 30 bottles of soy milk. The owner also said when he eats the pork totters, whatever they are, he consumes the whole tray of them. And for prawns, usually people use tongs to pick them up. He uses a tray to take them all. He also added that he's banning all live streamers from the restaurant.
That'll solve that problem.
This story is trending on Chinese social media and has racked up more than 250 million views apparently on Weibo with a wide range of opinions. Some have said that the restaurant should be an all-you-can-eat restaurant if they can't afford to do it, while others felt sorry for the restaurant owner. And this is ties in with China clamping down on social media influencers, apparently. It came after President Xi called on people to fight against food waste and raising concerns over food shortages.
But he's not wasting food though, he's eating it.
I don't know. Maybe that's actually just like this.
The influencer bit I agree with, because most influencers are scum. But like if he's putting the food away, it's not like he's leaving plate after plate of just wasted, you know,
it's
scraps.
all going into one person. So as far as the restaurant's concerned, it's a lot of waste. It's a lot of money.
Yeah, it's not.
I know it's just like
not sharing the food.
He's
basically a capitalist eater.
Yeah, but he's
not welcome in China.
Well, as far as the contract is, he goes in, pays a fixed fee, and he eats how much he wants. But it's up to the restaurant to sort of go right in the print below, in the small print, like only up to like 20 kilograms or whatever. You know what I mean?
He's not sharing the means of eating. Wait, no, apparently this is a thing in China where they're clamping down on eating influencers. Last year, the Chinese government started cracking down on eating influencers, and such videos may be banned altogether. It came after President Xi Jinping called on people to fight against food waste amid rising concerns over food shortages. So this guy may eat it all, but maybe there's other people who go into a shop or a restaurant and buy a lot of stuff and don't actually eat it, and then obviously it's just thrown out afterwards.
Well, you got a population that big, I suppose you do have to.
Ration.
Yeah, especially with all the lockdowns going on.
I just don't understand the mentality behind it though, because if it's not going to waste and he's eating it all, like it's it's going in him, it's not going to waste. Like it's again, it's different if he was leaving plates behind, like half finished. Like even places here, like buffets, if you constantly if they catch you leaving plates half full, like you're not finishing your plates and you're going out for more and more, they'll just tell you like you can't have any more. That's it. Get out. Like that's like policy for most all you can eat restaurants, especially one I know of.
There's a photo of him there. He's actually quite a normal looking dude. He's not anywhere near as big as I imagine.
Oh yeah, that's that. Yep, he doesn't look that gigantic.
Yeah, he just
goes right through him.
Right. Well, that's the end of my story.
This just dumps it in a bag and takes it home or something. His backpack.
So, Mr. Black, what's your story?
Russian anti-satellite missile test draws condemnation. Have you heard about this last week?
I heard something about this. They were shooting down a satellite or something.
Yeah, the US has condemned Russia for conducting a dangerous and irresponsible missile test that says it endangered the crew aboard the International Space Station. The station currently has seven crew members on board, 4 Americans, a German, and 2 Russians. Basically, what ended up happening was I think the way it goes is there was a satellite that the Russians had. It just was decommissioned. Like they just don't use it anymore. From what I've read from certain people, I don't know if it was a satellite that they were using. Surely they wouldn't blow up. Yeah, that makes sense. Actually, they wouldn't blow up a satellite that
Well, yeah,
they were
yeah.
actively using. So they were like, okay, let's test this missile. They sent it up, and I don't know if like an anti-satellite missile is a specific thing. I thought any oil missile would just blown up a satellite. But the whole point is that I don't think they properly consulted international space authorities about this. So, have you ever seen Gravity, the film?
Yeah.
You know the way like a satellite blows up, and then
Breeze continues to orbit.
yeah, it continues to orbit, but like maybe 15 minutes later into the film, the debris comes flying back around and just rips the space station to bits.
Yeah.
It does it a couple times actually throughout the film, doesn't it? Basically, that kind of scenario could have happened if too much of the debris scattered all over the place. Because
Well, I'm not convinced by that situation though, because surely if you blow up a satellite, all the bits are going to go in all sorts of different directions.
Well, you think that, but
yeah, going into orbit is quite a difficult thing. You've got to be quite precise about your direction and your speed. So if you blow something up with an explosion, the odds of it going back into orbit again are quite small.
Well, there's going to be a lot of pieces.
do you know
They're
how?
all going to go in a lot of different directions, and some of them may just hit the right direction to be in orbital path with the International Space Station.
Oh, possibly.
Yeah, like it's
Well,
in
it only-
it is in orbit, so it's going to be in the similar path to the space station. Maybe not on the same axis, but there's still a chance it could collide with the space station. Like if
And it's
You know.
it only takes one
It only
tiny
takes
nut
one.
or bolt just to hit the space station, and it'll go right through, and then you'll have explosive decompression
Hmm.
and exciting times.
Yes.
fun times in space.
And I don't believe Woman in Gravity.
Sandra Bullock.
I don't believe Sandra Bullock's on board, so I doubt anyone will survive.
Hmm.
Well, she only saved herself in the end, didn't she?
Yeah, she didn't manage to save George Clooney.
The bitch let him die. I can't really remember the film, but like I remember it being a really good film. Really enjoyed
Oh, well, basically,
it.
George Clooney played George Clooney with a jetpack, so he fit into the role very well.
Nice.
Um,
But they actually, in fact, this, I think this is a quote from a NASA administrator. Earlier today, the Russian Federation recklessly conducted a destructive satellite test of a direct ascent anti-satellite missile against one of its own satellites. U.S. State Department spokesperson Ned Price said. He says they did a test to assess the damage, and it says the test so far has generated over 1,500 pieces of trackable orbital debris. I don't know if that means if all that debris is orbiting or it's within orbit range. So basically, any bits of those debris could be within the path of the space station, or not just the space station, but any important satellites, any rockets that are going up, you know. So yeah, basically,
Basically, it wasn't a reasonable thing to do.
yeah, everyone's kind of pissed off.
so how should they get rid of old satellites then?
Well, I think space. Well, Elon
Usually
Musk.
Usually they program them just to crash into the Pacific.
Yeah,
And there's one area of the Pacific, which I can't remember the name, but it's the remotest part of anywhere in the water and any ocean, furthest away from land. That is the area they program things just to crash into the water.
South Pacific. It's like the biggest body of water, isn't it?
Yeah, but there's an actual zone. I can't remember what it's called, and that's basically the target point, and it's the furthest from any landmass.
All right, okay.
You're right actually, because I was thinking of space junk. I think it was Elon Musk. Proposed an idea about having some sort of net, like in space, like a satellite or something would go up and catch a lot of the space junk that's orbiting, because it's not just satellites and stuff. It's like there's just shit up there just floating about, and you know, I mean, the space station was already in danger because all this stuff was already floating about, but obviously an extra 1,500 pieces are going to be a bit problematic. It's just extra stuff to track, more risk of a collision. So I don't really know how they're going to do that, but there's more and more talks about space junk becoming a problem. So don't litter in space, folks.
Point Nemo is the area I was talking about.
Point Nemo.
It's the furthest away from any landmass.
Is that in the South Pacific?
Yes.
South Pacific's pretty empty. That's normally where they put the sticker on the map.
It's where Cthulhu lives.
It's where they have Easter Island.
Huh.
It's like the emptiest part of the world.
So yeah, there you go.
Well, moving on from satellites to testicles. There's been a recent trend in TikTok.
Testicles, TikTok. That can't be good.
Well, it's a trend on TikTok of many people guys who have found out that their testicles can taste.
Wait, hold on a minute. You just say guys. Are you just assuming?
Okay, people with testicles.
Yeah.
Who they found they basically found out that if you dip your plums into something with a strong taste, you can taste it. So they've been using soy sauce.
Well, I'm just going to call bullshit on this, to be honest. From the outside, I'm just going to call bullshit on this.
Well, I'm afraid we're not playing the game. You're calling bollocks.
I've heard a lot of bollocks.
Well, there's one video of a guy, he's got his trousers down.
Did you watch it?
Assumingly. Of course, I've done my research. You know me, I always do good research for this podcast.
You did your analysis on it?
Yep. He sort of bends down, you see him go down, and he comes up and he shouts, "Testicles have taste buds." So, he gets very excited. So, yeah.
Flip.
So, would you guys try that? Get a little cup of soy sauce and give it a dip?
No, I wouldn't.
No?
Well, I mean, you scrub your balls with soap, and you can't taste the soap. So,
yeah, it's not like
assuming you do, you scrub your balls with soap. There's some people out there just don't. But
some use shower gel, I guess.
But yeah, so yeah, it's scary. People believe anything. There's actually a trend I saw on TikTok where, gives me the willies thinking about it. It's like, people were like getting nail files and filing down their teeth, the sharp points, to make their teeth look sharper, like to reshape their teeth. There's actually some people were doing it, like make jagged teeth, like sharp teeth, because they were edgy, and some people were doing it just pure horizontally to file down the enamel so that all their teeth were just perfectly flat horizontally, so they all kind of matched. And I mean, I remember it was like a dentist guy on YouTube was like talking about this trend, saying like, don't bloody be doing this because you'll damage your enamel forever and you'll never.
You don't need to be a dentist to know that that's going to take your enamel off. You take off the enamel, kids, then all the sugar is going to go straight to the bone in your teeth. It'll rot it away really quickly.
Yes.
They filed their teeth down to sharpen points. Why?
Because it's like people getting stupid tattoos and weird hair colors and piercings in weird places. It's like that kind of thing. It's just,
I think they grow back or something.
I don't think they were thinking at all. I think that's the problem.
Actually, that's a very good point.
Like, they're just like, oh, this is cool. It's just, but yeah, it's things like that. It's, and like, I don't know if it came from TikTok, but like the Tide Pod challenge. I think it might have been TikTok,
What's the Tide Pod challenge?
Basically, you just get a Tide. It's like a
dishwasher tablet,
like a
right?
dishwasher tablet, or like it's like a clothes, like you chuck it into the washing machine, that kind of thing. You take it in your mouth and you burst it in your mouth, and you keep it in your mouth for like so many seconds, but it burns. That's what the Tide Pod challenge was. And people actually did this, and there were people that came out, medical experts, saying don't do this. And it's not so much.
There was a few people who died from this.
Yeah, people did that. So don't eat. Don't put chemicals in your mouth.
See if you see it on TikTok, don't do it.
Yeah, but people. It's not a funny thing I heard from that. It's not so much the chemicals that in your mouth that kill you. It's the gas it makes. So these would burst. It would create like chlorine gas or something like that, and people would immediately breathe in because it started to burn. That would be your first instinct. You'd be like, it would make a gasp, and then they would inhale that gas into their lungs and they would asphyxiate. So just really stupid things. It started off with like, in the days before TikTok, it was just silly things. Like if you lick a chewing gum wrapper and stuck it on your arm, it would burn after a while. Like silly things like that. But this is like just taking it to a whole new extreme. Like some of the worst fads are making their way onto TikTok, and everyone's doing it.
It's like the whole ice cream.
Oh, yes, I remember that, licking the ice cream in the shop
and then putting it back.
And putting it back.
Oh, yeah.
That's nasty. Don't do that.
The saddest thing is people just doing that for clout. That's really the saddest part of it.
Yeah.
Well, we can move the conversation back to testicles for a moment. It turns out there are actually taste buds in the testicles.
No, there's not.
No, there are. There are taste. Well, I would say taste buds. There are taste cells or taste receptors all over your body. But they're used for different things. They're not necessarily to taste food. But how do you know you've got something spicy in your stomach? How do you know you're doing all that stuff? It's basically to detect chemical reactions in your body.
But I thought that was just like your nerve endings reacting because
taste kind of is a bit of a nerve ending, isn't it?
Because like I think is it most of your taste, like 80% of your taste is actually through your nose as well. Like your nose plays a huge part in the food you taste.
Yeah.
So
the nose is a big chemical receptor. It works in tandem with the tongue.
But it's like if you dipped your knob in some curry, like it would burn. But
yes,
I think it's just because that part of your body is really sensitive.
Well, I wouldn't say that's necessarily taste. That's just spiciness burning at you.
I'll put it this way: if I drop my balls in some soy sauce, I'm not going to taste it.
Probably not. No.
Well, it could happen. Just let us know if it. Not the listeners. Just I mean.
Well, I suppose actually this is a good time to talk to our listeners. If anyone out there who's listening has dipped their balls in soy sauce or curry or something like that, please tell us what you.
Please keep it to yourself.
Please tell us what you experienced. We'd love to hear from you.
If you've accidentally brushed your nuts against some ice cream and happen to taste it, let us know. But don't go out of your way to dip it in the stuff. Because that'd be a bit weird.
We're not asking you to do it, just in case you have done it.
You just predicted now some guy going to the ice cream section and dipping their balls into the ice cream to try and taste it or something. And their balls stick to the frost.
We're not asking you to do anything.
Don't do that.
We're not asking you to do anything.
We're a good influence. Right. I'd say that's...
We're not influencing anyone because we're not asking anyone to do anything.
We are not influencers. Excuse me.
No, absolutely
influencers
not.
Are scum.
What are we then?
Three arseholes in a shed.
We're dudes in a shed. Well, we're dudes in some dude's shed.
That's right. And so ends the news.
Till next time.
Live long and prosper.
Don't dip your balls. Bye.